Hey, welcome back. This is Bookie. I just watched the new Wonder Woman 1984 film. Was it bad? No, not really, I guess. Did I enjoy watching it? I, I guess so. Did I love it anywhere near as much as the first film? No, I didn't. Was it slightly disappointing? Very much so. Fuck. Alright, so let's start with the non-spoiler review first. First of all, let's start up with the bad. Like, what was up with the tone and the vibe of the film? At times, this film really feels like an 80s movie, and by that I don't really mean like the Stranger Things vibe or anything like that. I mean in the way how it's shot, how the action is choreographed, and the dialogue. It actually comes off as having been made in the 80s, effects and all. Like, you know how in an old film, when a character starts running like this, and they are behind like a green screen, and they have like this background that moves that gives the impression that they run really fast, and it's fine for a fan film, it's fine for a TV show, but it really looks off in a high budget film like this, especially when the action in like the 2017 movie was like when she attacks the soldiers in the village, up until the part where she like bashes straight through a church and everything. That was so good, and compared to this, it keeps feeling off and just at least at the very first at the start of the movie. It's at the mall, like you could see in the trailers, and it's just for really goofball criminals she has to deal with. The action's just not really interesting. I guess it plays off in the story about why she's there and what those criminals are trying to get, which furthers the plot, but it kind of feels just unnecessary and boring. And halfway through the film, there's another action sequence where she chases a vehicle, but again, it's not really breathtaking action. And at the end of the film, she has two short bouts with Barbara and Cheetah. And yeah, as for Cheetah, I saw some complaints about how she was like Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And personally, I think it's nowhere near as bad. I mean, she looks up to Diana, yes. But it never comes across as like obsessed, and she definitely doesn't like become Diana's enemy because of like senpai won't notice me, if you catch my drift. She only gets involved like against Diana when she finds out the main villain's plan, and she's afraid that if Diana stops the main villain, that she will lose what she gained. And I think that's a lot better than what they did for Electro in Amazing Spider-Man 2. And as for the Cheetah Effects, yes, they do the thing where it's nighttime to hide the bad CGI. And honestly, I was fine with that. Her face as Cheetah look great to me. You get a couple of like close-up shots, and the makeup and everything. Nice. It looks really good. And it definitely looks better than anything I could ever imagine a humanoid furry character to look like on live action. So there's that. It's better than Cats, at least, is what I'm saying. I also saw some complaints about how Steve comes back, and that's a yes and no situation for me. They are great together again. They really play well off each other, and how he comes back makes sense to me. But how they deal with that seems kind of very strange and overly casual. But I'll talk more about that in the spoiler video, because I'm not really sure how to get my point across here without giving too much away. As for the plot, I think it's fine. The basic gist of it is, which you could probably already get from the trailers, is that Barbara accidentally gets powers from an artifact, and the main villain, Maxwell Lord, uses this artifact to become able to grant wishes, which causes the world to collapse into chaos and everything, and Diana has to stop him, and Barbara tries to stop her from stopping him so she doesn't lose what she got out of it. The problem that this film really has, though, is that it takes 2.5 hours. And it really seems to drag its feet getting through those 2.5 hours. And I can appreciate it when a filmmaker tries to, take their time to explain things. But there is such a thing as taking too much time to explain things, and at the same time dropping the ball explaining things, like why some characters suddenly show up at a place where it's just convenient for the plot for them to suddenly be. Like, how do they even know to be there, for why they have to be there? Like, they're just there because the plot needs them there. There's no other reason. The film doesn't think that there's any other reason necessary for that. And I could have looked past those little things in a film if it was exciting and it actually kept a good pace going, but it really doesn't. And at the end, you also kind of have to puzzle out a few things yourself, like how it wraps things up, because it doesn't really say anything about it. It kind of leaves you questioning a lot of things. Yeah, I'll leave that for the spoiler video. But yeah, my point here really is there's a really fun movie hidden in all this drag, and you could probably cut it down to like a 1.5 hour or 2 hours max, and you'd probably have a great film. As it stands now, it's a 5.5 out of 10, because Diana's great in it. Absolutely. Steve is great. There's a couple of awesome scenes. Personally, I thought Barbara and the cheetah were well done. But yeah, it's not a movie I would really enjoy rewatching a lot like the original. Not at all. Anyway, I'll keep the spoilers up in the next upload. For anyone that wants to see that and hasn't seen Wonder Woman yet, I'll keep it separate. For anyone that has seen Wonder Woman, please take a look. I'd love to talk about things with you. And if you'd like to see more, please subscribe and keep an eye out for the spoiler video coming right after this one. And see you then. Why am I excited? This movie was not exciting. Why am I acting all excited? Because the first one was so damn exciting. As a wise man once said, disappointed!